Vlad the Impaler, was he the real Dracula? Vlad III Dracula, the real-life inspiration for Bram Stoker's character. He was known for his cruelty and his tactics of impaling his enemies, which earned him the nickname Dracula, which means son of the dragon in Romanian. In the 15th century, he was son of the many rulers of Wallachia, a neighboring region of Transylvania. The story of Bran Castle, commonly known as Dracula's Castle, it's associated with the legend of Vlad the Impaler. The castle is associated with the legend of Vlad the Impaler, also known as Dracula, a brutal ruler who was notorious for impaling his enemies on stakes. The castle was built in the 14th century on a strategic hilltop, between two mountain ranges, with the purpose of protecting the border of Transylvania against Ottoman invaders. It was initially owned by the Teutonic Knights, who were German crusaders, and then passed into the hands of the Hungarian kings. Although there is no evidence that Vlad ever lived in Bran Castle, it is believed that he may have passed through the area during his campaigns against the Ottomans. The castle's association with the legend of Dracula began in the 19th century when Bram Stoker, an Irish writer, wrote his famous novel, Dracula, which was inspired by the stories he heard about the region. Bran Castle gained even more popularity as a tourist attraction in the 20th century, after it was declared a national monument of Romania, and opened to the public in 1956. Today, it is one of the most visited castles in Europe, with over 500,000 visitors each year. The castle's interior is decorated with medieval weapons and armor, as well as antique furniture and artwork, which provide a glimpse into the life of the castle's former occupants. Visitors can explore the castle's rooms and towers, including the secret passage, which is said to have been used by Vlad the Impaler. Despite the castle's association with Dracula, there is no evidence to suggest that he ever owned or lived in the castle. However, its connection to the legend has made it a popular destination for tourists interested in the history and mythology of the region. It's no surprise that Vlad the Impaler became famously known as Dracula, considering his father was a member of the Order of the Dragon. Needless to say, his reputation precedes him. The Order of the Dragon was established to protect Christianity from the Ottoman Empire. And it's none other than Dracula who derived his name from its Latin translation, son of the dragon, a nod to his father's belonging in this order. Bram Stoker, the author of Dracula, was inspired by the stories he heard about the region and its history. He may have come across references to Vlad the Impaler in his research, and was likely drawn to the stories of his cruelty and his association with the Order of the Dragon. In the novel, Stoker's character Dracula is depicted as a centuries-old vampire, who preys on humans, and has supernatural powers. While there is no direct connection between Vlad the Impaler and the fictional Dracula, Stoker's use of the name and the setting of the story in Transylvania has led to the association between the two. Over time, the legend of Dracula has become a popular cultural phenomenon, with numerous films, TV shows, and books featuring the character. Bran Castle's association with the legend has made it a popular tourist attraction, and the region has become known as the Land of Dracula. It is difficult to determine an exact number of people that Vlad the Impaler killed, as the historical records from his time are limited and often contradictory. However, it is widely believed that he was responsible for the deaths of tens of thousands of people, including his enemies, criminals, and even innocent civilians. Vlad was known for his brutal tactics, particularly his use of impalement, as a method of execution. Impalement involved inserting a large stake into a person's body and leaving them to die a slow and painful death. Vlad is said to have used this method frequently, and even had forests of impaled bodies erected as a warning to his enemies. In addition to impalement, Vlad was also known for other cruel methods of execution, such as boiling people alive, skinning them alive, and even feeding them to wild animals. He was also known to have ordered the execution of entire villages, and was rumored to have enjoyed watching the executions himself. It is important to note that while Vlad the Impaler is often depicted as a bloodthirsty monster, he was also seen as a hero by some in his time. He was known for his fierce defense of his homeland against the Ottoman Empire, and is credited with helping to protect Europe from Ottoman expansion. Yes, Vlad the Impaler was married and had at least 2 children. His first wife was a noblewoman named Knijna, whom he married in the mid-1450s. Very little is known about their marriage, but it is believed that they had at least 1 son together. After Knijna's death, Vlad remarried a woman named Ilona Szilágyi, who was the daughter of a Hungarian nobleman. They had 2 sons together, named Minia and Vlad III Dracula. Vlad III, also known as Vlad the Devil or Vlad Dracula, would go on to become the most infamous member of the family, and the inspiration for the legend of Dracula. It is important to note that the details of Vlad's personal life are often obscured by the myths and legends that have grown up around him. While there is some historical evidence about his marriages and children, much of it is incomplete or contradictory, and the exact details of his personal life remain a subject of debate among historians. There is little information available about the personal lives of Vlad the Impaler's wives and children, so it is difficult to say with certainty whether they were cruel or not. However, it is worth noting that violence and cruelty were common during the time period in which Vlad lived, and that his reputation for brutality extended to his enemies as well as to those under his protection. It is also worth noting that Vlad's second wife, Ilona Szilágyi, was the daughter of a Hungarian nobleman, and may have been a political marriage rather than a love match. It is possible that the marriage was arranged for political reasons, and that Vlad and Ilona had little personal connection. Overall, while there is no evidence to suggest that Vlad's wives or children were themselves cruel or violent, it is difficult to say with certainty what their lives were like, given the limited historical record. As far as is known, there are no direct descendants of Vlad the Impaler who are alive today. It is worth noting that the historical record on Vlad's family is somewhat limited and fragmentary, so there may be some relatives of his who have not been identified or documented. However, it is generally believed that the line of succession ended with his immediate family, and that there are no surviving descendants who can claim direct lineage from him. That being said, Vlad the Impaler has had a lasting impact on popular culture and folklore, and his legacy continues to fascinate and inspire people around the world. Yes, Bran Castle, commonly known as Dracula's Castle, is open to the public and offers tours throughout the year. The castle is located in the town of Bran, which is about 30 kilometers southwest of the city of Brașov in central Romania. Visitors can explore the castle's rooms and exhibits, which include historical artifacts and displays about the castle's history and legends. The castle's interior is decorated in a medieval style, and includes elements such as suits of armor, antique furniture, and medieval weapons. Bran Castle is a popular tourist attraction and can get crowded during peak travel seasons, so it is recommended that visitors book their tickets and tours in advance. The castle is also located in a picturesque area of Romania, with opportunities for hiking and exploring the surrounding countryside. Overall, Bran Castle is an accessible and fascinating destination for those interested in the history and legends of Vlad the Impaler and the Dracula mythos. Subscribe to get notified of my next video. Your comment is also a way to say